Oh, the Leafs finally won in overtime. Well, you know what they say, billionth time's the charm.
Boom, you ready? Big news. What? Whoosh. Seriously?
No pigs yet.
What? What was he doing? Wow. Bring him on. Beautiful.
Leafs win in overtime. I haven't said that since last year. 4-3 against the Boston Bruins for their first overtime win this season. And I was interning at Leafs TV last night and had the pleasure of editing this game for the Game in 6 segment. Link? The Bruins start off well, making it 1-0. Here we go again! For the Leafs this season and kind of over the last 5 years, that's the feeling that strikes you when the other team scores first, as they so often do. But Wayne Primo comes in, whoom, ties it up for the Leafs. Alright, I'm feeling optimistic. 3 minutes later, Marco Sturm scores 2-1. But as the period is ending, Carl Gunnarsson ties it up for the Leafs, his second of his rookie campaign. Good on your stat hats, folks. You're about to get a lot of them. Because for the success Carl Gunnarsson has had this season, everything's been quiet around him. But here we go. +3 against the Bruins, and he's a +9 on the season, the top +- on the Leafs. Next highest Leaf is Grabo with a +1. He's third in rookie +-. Hasn't produced a whole lot, but he's 11th in rookie scoring as a defenseman. Just 6 penalty minutes. Third in rookie time on ice per game behind only Tyler Myers and Victor Hedman. Second in rookie time on ice per game on the penalty kill, and first in rookie shifts per game with just under 29. Coming into the season, you talk about the kind of guy the Leafs desperately need in their system. A guy like Carl Gunnarsson. But we're only halfway through the game, because Canadian Olympic gold medalist Patrice Bergeron puts the Bruins on top 3-2. Oh, come on, I was cheering for you last week! Luckily, the Leafs tie it up in epic fashion. Luca Caputi, in his first home game in Toronto, scores his first goal as a Leaf to tie the game. Adding to his stats from the Penguins, Luca Caputi has now set a career high for goals in a season. Wow, how many? 2, but it doesn't make it untrue. From there on out, Gustafsson, no goal. Tim Thomas's unorthodox yet successful goaltending style, no goal. Overtime, Leafs chance, nope. Bruins chance, oh please no, we need our playoff spot. Then Nick Kulemin tips it up ice to Mikhail Grabovski. And in his first game back from a long injury, Mikhail Grabovski streaks up ice. Michael Ryder does his part for the Leafs by crashing into Tim Thomas. We appreciate that. And Nikolai Kulemin, who was the first, second, third, 9th, 10th, 11th star of this game, he just played amazing. Pots it. The Leafs win their first overtime game of the season. All game long, he was forechecking, crashing the net, making all these tiny but really defensively responsible moves with the puck. And that's his reward. Now, the Bruins were without Mark Savard and also Zdeno Chara. That's a pretty big gap in your roster, and a lot of people are saying that's the only reason the Leafs won. Possibly, but look at the Leafs on paper. You tell me if they have an advantage. And while they're young and painfully inexperienced, this was the kind of game I like to see out of the Leafs. Which brings me to the question of the game from the last game. I asked you guys what was the worst Leafs transaction over the last little while. Just reading through the comments, the overwhelming favorite, Andrew Raycroft for Tuukka Rask. And I would have to agree. But, hold on to your hat, Ashton Kutcher, we're about to enter the butterfly effect. Toronto traded Tuukka Rask, arguably the #1 prospect in the system at the time, because they felt like they needed a #1 goalie immediately. But wait a minute, why did they need a #1 goalie? Because they bought out the one they had. That goalie being Ed Belfour. Now granted, the Leafs weren't really going to go anywhere with Belfour at that age. And at the time, the Michael Tellqvist experiment had already failed, leaving just J.S. Aubin as the other goalie. But somehow, I feel like buying out your #1 goalie, then trading your #1 or 2 prospect in the whole organization for a new one is not smart. And if you're gonna do that, make sure the goalie you're getting was an 8-19-2 the year before. So while I don't think that was the single worst move of the last little while, the Leafs buying out Ed Belfour was a huge mistake and led to a butterfly effect that did not turn out well, because it led to the Raycroft trade, then the Toskala trade. And I don't care what your stats are on the Marlies Justin Pogge, you're the #1 goaltender of the future. Equals sad face. And I will end off this video by asking you a question of the game. What is the one position you want the Leafs to fill next season? And which player, realistic please, would you like to see fill that spot? I'm gonna go with center, and playing center, Superman. Like I said, be realistic. Peace, guys.